Today is the second month of this video, and we're today, for this time, that we're in Syrup's profile, what it is, and that it was actually a developer, but since that actually going to be for one thing as well, even for some sort of, for last 10 days ago, even for almost 30 days ago, that went out for those things that somewhere. And because that's the only reason that it should be able to do this is going to come down again, it is going to be really happen what I just tried to do this. As we're today, we're scrolling down for even one, as we're checking out for the example comic studio. We're jumping in for already as we seen this. We have a bunch of syrupy cookies around here. It was called whipped coffee cream cookie, which is I exactly how found here. So this is actually for one of the bases, and the props is the sample text, and the comic effects was pretty some sort of a lot of doing this as well. Even we probably say that we try to do this, even for the defaults as well, for some sort of a text as well. So I'm gonna be going for impact as well. So showing up spoilers isn't going to be for right there as impossible to do this, as we're going to be completely show this folder that doesn't able to be saved after you leave the studio as well, that when you come back to do this. In the backgrounds there are always basic backdrops that recently found out that is always backdrops, I guess. The real backdrops was only for one purpose, to do this as well. At the basic of those old backdrops, or some sort of a basic backdrops as well. So even though to do this as well, that isn't gonna be pretty normal as well. And I guess we're gonna be started around for a little bit of bases. This is the only creator as well, as we probably for doing this tutorial. And here is going to be for the options. So this is the pressed, and you can do for the panel width, and the type is actually for its 480. I think we're gonna be using for the 480 as well. So we're gonna be making always default, and we're gonna be making it 400. I think this is not gonna be saved as default. So we're not gonna be using for 60 as well. So we're gonna be using 8. The bottom margins, or the margins as well. So what about the margins as well? It shouldn't able to be for this way as anyways. It's not gonna be something like 30 because I just even forgot to do this. The border width was actually gonna be always 4, and I'm not gonna be finding like anything to do this as well. So enable flipbook mode isn't going to be export comic data with images, which is only for full, but I just tried to do with optimize, or the optimize as well, as you'll be able to save as default. I might go into call for syrupy once again. It is not going to be to do this as well. It managedly not going to be able to work. It's not possible to do what I'm saying to do this. So if I just try to switch the options off, that could not able to be showing for to do this. If you're using for the dark mode, there are always for many more of those default fronts, or like those things as modes as well. You can use dark mode, fancy red, as old red blood, royal blue, which is not pretty perfect as well because of actually for the 21st century royal blue, sparkling green. And this isn't gonna be what I just expected. Sepia tone was actually for one thing as well, so something is actually old fashioned as well. The classic that we got here was actually from 2022. No margins, is we got actually nothing as real. Lineless wasn't only for one to do this as anyways. So as we'll be seeing some sort of a draft that doesn't gonna be making a little bit even sense, but I actually added many of those syrupy cookies right away until we got for 4 seconds ago that we eventually have him as anyways. So all you have to do is enable the flipbook as well, as we'll be changing all the way for the recorded voice. So even that's gonna be working as well, then choose 5, and I'm gonna be going for around for 10 frames per second maximum. So that doesn't going to be should I say the 3 of those things as well? We got for the light box, onion skin, and the flipbook speed, the flipbook audio, never absolutely gonna be chosen or one file, and export data with images as well. So I don't really think this is absolutely what happened. Let's just pretty disable the flipbook as well. If you enable the flipbook, you absolutely turn off the options, and there is the flipbook, by the way. So that doesn't going to be even for some sort of default as well, and it's absolutely already to do this, that not able to be changed as well. So after you're done here for this thing, and you realize you're gonna be disable the flipbook and turning off the options as well, as you might able to be turning on for like those things as well. So even that you're gonna be restarting everything, as we probably try to do like anything as drafts, and that we're gonna be trying to do this. So I'll be back in the options later until we just completely look at the footage as well. And if you know I was right about for this thing, that doesn't gonna be making a little bit counter like those things like anyways as well. So since I was wrong, I should be able to be stay on 36 by now, and it should be able to be perfect as well to save as default. So I'm not gonna be turning the page like anytime as well soon enough. So I just pretty added for some sort of one kind of stuff as well, so I just put right over here, and many more characters. I wasn't gonna be going to do like anything, is probably to do so as well. It's been 3 minutes ago, so I'm just getting rid of this thing as well. So I might gonna be using for some sort of an errors, and we don't need to use the account. We can use dark mode. That doesn't going to be making any sense as well. So unfortunately, I'm always choosing anything of light as well for the device as well. As we probably try to do before we're gonna be end of this video, as you notice this, thanks to Pensier for the art assets, whipped cream or some sort of whipped coffee cookie is owned by Syrupy or somebody else. As we're going to be scrolled down, developed and maintained by Syrupy. It was actually for some sort of Syrupy as well, and which is the developer of the Comic Studio as well. Also check it out for Don't Let Pigeon Use the Comic Studio, or somebody who tries to use the Comic Studio, including Secret Sword Comic Studio, and the 101 Magical Girl AUS Comic Studio. And the hot users, can you cringify strawberry crepe cookies gacha? And a lot of those things that you're gonna be seeing this. Read comics, see more comic creators, or make one of your favorite series at Comic Studio. So follow for around those things as well. And the link is in description down below. So if you just pretty like of this video as well, this Comic Studio is gonna be linked in the description, but it's only for the developers only, or some sort of a main developer of the Comic Studio, like we actually who tried to do this like anyways as well, as we might able to be seeing for such as comics. That doesn't gonna be for making any sense as well, and like for some sort of making for big things as well. So I'm not gonna be sure to add like automobiles, as that aren't able to be saving for some sort of a drafts as well. We can't post something or download or like those save images as well. You get a dead panels or copy the panels as well, as that doesn't going to be something like it's going to be changing as well. So if you is going to be going to paste around here for even for the copy around panels as well, or even we just completely cancelled for some sort of like this, and then it was broken. So that doesn't gonna be even able to work like anyways. So that should be the end of this video already, because I might gotta be stepping back for a little bit of those comic studios like anyways as well. So even for the latest comics around it many more days ago, or likely it's not anything to do so. And before we're gonna be trying to find like any comics that we're just probably able to be seeing for such as one moment as well, you're gonna be trying to subscribe to my channel like anyways, and it's going to be 1,500 subscribers for this month, or it's going to be for the next month as well, before some sort of Halloween happens as well. But unfortunately, I'm going to be missed for a time for the events in Roblox, and for some sort of one reason, I'll be missed one of those events in Roblox, including like anything it goes on the railroad world as well for the original designs. So I'll be talking mini lads all later, and you're gonna be checking out with Syrupy's all comics. You can see all of those things like anything that before, or all comics like those things for those feeds, and some mini posts. And probably to do this, that I'm just going to be finding like anything as well, that who just actually gonna be says like anything before like 2 days ago, and many of those posts like anything as well. So that is all like anything for today, and I'm gonna be see you mini lads and comic studio users all later, and I'll be see you in another video. Until that's it.